name is Neeti and I'm a breast cancer winner. I mean, this is not usually how I introduce myself. I can't imagine saying this at a professional setting or at my son's school meet, but it's relevant here. And let me share with you at the very start that there's going to be a lot of talk around breasts. So if some of you are feeling excited, I'm all okay with that. But if some of you are feeling awkward, I really wish to take away some of that inhibitions away. Let me start by sharing a little about how I got diagnosed and my journey thereafter. I got diagnosed in 2012 at the age of 31 years. So all of you know my age now. I had felt a lump on the surface of my breast, and I thought that it was related to menses, so I slept over it for whole 2 months. After which it was actually as if I got a jolt from God and I got all tensed. Like many of you girls sitting here, I had never done a self-breast exam, nor had I paid attention to anything like this. So when I decided that I wanted to show to a doctor, I didn't know what kind of a doctor to go to. So I looked up to that one source that all of us look up to when in need of answers, when we are confused. I asked Google. I finally found a doctor and I got my ultrasound done. The report said that the lump was benign, which means non-cancerous. So me and my husband were ecstatic. I remember shouting on top of my voice sitting in the car that, yay, I don't have cancer. And we celebrated the whole day eating out, having fun, shopping. But luckily for us, the doctor had also advised to get an FNAC done, which is a fine needle aspiration test. I got the test done and I forgot about it. Professionally, I'm a professor and a corporate trainer. And I was in a full-time job with a management institution as a faculty at that time. I remember it was a Monday, and I got a call from the FNAC center at my workplace asking me to come and collect the report at 4 o'clock with my husband. So I knew that the news would not be good. We reached there and we were told that I had cancer. My husband was actually distraught. The FNAC doctor actually asked me to take care of him. I underwent mastectomy, which is removal of one breast, followed by chemotherapy and hormonal treatment. I mean, I can't see all of you till the end clearly, but I'm sure that some of you at least would be looking at my breast right now. I actually get that a lot when I tell people that I'm a breast cancer survivor. So let me put all your doubts to rest. I got reconstruction done after around 3 years of the surgery. So this is my own set now. And yep, that's possible. My friend even joked with me once saying that, Neeti, I had never thought that you would get a boob job done. I somehow always knew that this was just a phase and that I will come out of it as a winner. I know it will sound very filmy, but at the time when I was being taken in for the operation, I actually declared to a room full of my nervous and loving family that मैं ये जंग जीत के आती हूँ. I didn't know any other way but to accept it, fight it, and beat it. This is my picture that was taken maybe 2 or 3 days after the surgery at the time when I was getting discharged. And you can see there are 2 pipes coming out of my body that were connected to 2 drains. I actually went out to watch a movie like this. So the idea was I put the 2 drains into a sling bag and me and my husband went to the theater. The idea was that I wanted to feel as normal as possible. I did not want to put anything on hold. Like nothing in life should stop you from having fun. This is my picture on one of the days of my chemotherapy sessions. And if you can see, I am somehow acting like an 8-year-old in all of these pictures. And now when I look back at these pictures, this was actually the only time that I have actually gotten myself clicked like this. But I think that victory was the only emotion that I felt during that time. The only time though that I felt scared was when I thought that what if I would not be around to see my son grow up? But then the same thought again gave me a lot of willpower and courage to beat the disease and to be with him for the longest. So you can see a 3-year-old with an 8-year-old again. I never asked God that why did this happen to me? But me and my husband would often discuss that if this has happened, there must be some learning out of it. And I kept on seeking that answer. I now enjoy every little drop of rain. I enjoy wind in my hair. I am in love with myself even more than before. I started to write during my treatment, and I have written poems, songs, articles, and I'm even getting recognition for them. The reason why I'm sharing this is that I was known to be the least creative in terms of skills, even in my extended family. I submitted my PhD thesis last year, and I'm soon to be awarded my degree. In fact, I have my final viva in the coming week. So the point is that nothing seems impossible now. But more importantly, I got a bigger purpose in life. While I was undergoing my treatment, I realized that in India, more than 60% of females go to the doctors when the disease has reached an advanced stage. And this is one of the reasons for high mortality rates arising out of breast cancer. While breast cancer is one form of cancer that can be cured if diagnosed early. So I decided to not go back to a full-time job, and I founded my NGO Yes to Life in the year 2014. And I'm working with the aim to contribute towards lowering the mortality rate arising out of this disease. Our vision is screen-sensitized support, our 3 pillars of hope. And what we do in order to take this vision forward is breast cancer awareness talks across schools, universities, corporates, factories, which are free of charge. We do cancer screening camps, both for men and women. And when we do those for the economically weaker section, they're all free of charge. We are managing a support group of more than 100 cancer warriors. And we also provide for financial funding for people who can't afford the treatment on their own. I can't express enough the amount of peace, satisfaction, and gratitude that I feel while carrying on this work. Like, I have actually become a better version of myself. I have embraced the wow in me. Now, even if I think that if cancer would not have happened and I would be living the same life, I don't want that. I love my life and I'm living the dream. I have no complaints whatsoever. But a lot of people whom I meet, especially who have been newly diagnosed, keep on thinking, why me? And let me tell you, there is no answer to this. This will only increase your pain. And this is not just with cancer. I mean, all of us are faced with some difficult situation in a lifetime. It could be professional, financial, health-related, relationship-oriented. It could be seeing your boyfriend or girlfriend with someone else, or seeing blue ticks on the WhatsApp message that you sent your crush but never heard back, or even seeing ghiya ki sabji in the mess. The point is that whenever we're faced with something that looks like an N, we start to question, why me? Now, when you're in such a situation, first accept the situation and then think how to deal with it. I meet a lot of people who go into denial thinking that this cannot be happening to us, and they actually lose out on a lot of crucial time. And if you're able to think that what can be the learning out of this experience, then that's choosing to become the wow version of you. It's not that for me the treatment was very easy or I did not have any bad days. I mean, look at this picture. How bad it must be that I'm saying no to a chocolate. This picture was taken, though I don't know why was it taken at all, on the next day of my surgery. The point is that I decided that whatever challenges I would face, I would take each of one of them in my stride. And I'm not going to elaborate on them because difficulties have never been my focus area in life. So as I shared with you that I underwent mastectomy, and for any girl losing a breast at the age of 31 years would not be very pleasant. I remember I was actually shivering when I was being taken in for the final investigation. That was to decide whether I would have a lumpectomy, which means removal of just the lump, or mastectomy. I mean, the hospital room was really cold, all right? But I take the blame for the rest. But within minutes of knowing that this was the type of surgery that I had to undergo, I became fine with it, because by losing a body part, I was getting my life back. I could stay alive. And maybe now, 8 or 9 minutes into the talk, you would know that I really love being alive. At the time of mastectomy only, I had decided that I would get reconstruction done. So let me share with you that how did I decide that now was the time. So I used to wear a prosthesis, which is an artificial silicone breast inside my bra, so to give the same shape to both sides. Now once I was in a yoga class, and as I bent forward, the prosthesis popped out. Thankfully, I was wearing a tight-fitted t-shirt and it got stuck in my neck. I rushed to the changing room and I laughed my heart out. On other occasions, I had started to forget keeping it completely. So I've been to a bank without it, I've been to my nanu's place without it, and it was much later in the day that I realized that I was walking around with just one breast. I don't know, some people would have gone back and told their families that they saw one boob creature today. But I didn't really care. I didn't go back home to keep it, but I did realize that since I had started to forget keeping it, and also because I couldn't wear all kinds of clothes, I decided to get reconstruction done. The reason why I'm talking about this is that a lot of doctors have shared this with me, that one of the reasons why females actually go to the doctors in later stages is also because they're fearful of losing a breast. So one, not all breast cancer surgeries actually lead to losing a breast. There are breast conservative surgeries as well. And two, even if somebody has to undergo this type of surgery, then there are options like prosthesis and reconstruction available. Like, this should not be a reason to deter any female for getting treated at the right time. And I have kind of become an ambassador for this, you know. When my treating doctor has a confused patient, she would just give me a call and say, Neeti, come and show your breasts. I don't know how many women have I flashed. The point is that in situations like these, like the prosthesis popping out, etc., I could either have felt self-pity or do what I actually did. And I have actually enjoyed all of these moments. So the choice is yours. Why me or wow me? So let's break this barrier within us that makes us question why me and does not let us focus on the wow of it. Turn every challenge into an opportunity to be someone better, to do something bigger, and to learn to listen to your heart. And even while bringing out about this transformation, you could be faced by some challenges, and I would like to share a few points from my own experience. Give yourself time. So when you are in such a situation that looks like end of the world, give yourself time. Don't pressurize yourself into thinking that the change must happen at that very moment. As long as you know how you're feeling and how would you like to feel in the coming few hours or maybe the next day, that's a brilliant head start. Be your own mentor. So when I decided that I wanted to open up an NGO, somebody very close to me told me that NGOs in India don't do very well, and who would want to hear about cancer? But I told him that if that was the case, then I have even a bigger reason to talk about it, because someone has to. Then one of the professors in a leading institute where I was teaching part-time after my treatment told me that, man, this NGO thing is fine, but you're young and you should be concentrating on your career. This is the right age. And he even asked me to apply for a full-time job there. Now, being a Punjabi, I could understand this NGO thing, but I couldn't relate to what he was suggesting. I was so clear in my mind what I wanted to do, and I stuck to it. So nobody else can tell you what will give you peace of mind. So just follow your heart and do not give in to outside pressures. But I think that most of you have already taken admission into engineering, so I might be a little too late in saying that. Work with perseverance. So there can be times even in this wow journey when you might not feel that upbeat. Like for me, I remember I used to cry on second or third day of every chemo cycle. And I would tell my husband that there's some chemical ocha that happens inside me. But the good part was that I never went into the whys and ifs of it. I just cried and I came out of it. Then during the initial phases of starting Yes to Life, obviously I did not have as much work because there weren't as many awareness talks or screening camps or support seminars to organize as we have today, since we had just started. Now, since I was not into a full-time job by choice, I would feel very frustrated because I can't sit idle at home. And then I would start to think that I could have managed this much of work even with a full-time job. But then I reminded myself that this is a decision that I have made, and I will walk on this path happily and with patience. Patience being the critical word here. And this thought actually changed a lot for me. And the reason why I was able to think in this direction was because I was walking on a path that my heart desired me to do. I wasn't walking on this path just to fulfill somebody else's expectation of me. Be focused. So even in deciding whether I wanted to work part-time or I wanted to devote my full-time to the NGO, I was very confused initially because somehow I would feel guilty even in thinking if I wanted to work part-time. So what I actually wanted was an arrangement wherein I would be working professionally for 3 days and devoting 3 full days to Yes to Life. But I wasn't getting that arrangement. One, of course, because it's difficult to find that in academia. And two, my husband would often tell me that you're not getting what you want because you're very confused. And I was confused even in thinking that how can confusion lead to not getting what you want? So one fine day, as I was feeling frustrated, I decided that I wanted to work part-time because teaching and research are also passion with me. And so I talked to the universe. Actually inspired by Shah Rukh Khan's teaching, जब कुछ सच्चे दिल से चाहो तो ये पूरी कायनात उसे मिलवाने में लग जाती है. I actually told the universe what I wanted in terms of job, salary, work days, etc. And I also said that if this was not the right thing for me, let me try it out and experience it. And I actually got the job of my dreams. And while talking to you, I do realize how filmy I am. I worked there for a period of 6 months, after which I resigned, because the inner calling was now to devote more time to Yes to Life and to expand it. And that is what I've been doing for the last couple of years now. So I'm working towards having a cancer screening center, which would be free of charge for the economically weaker section. And the rich will, of course, have to pay. So we are trying to develop a partially sustainable model. And I'm also working towards building a platform wherein we would be able to help more and more patients financially to get themselves treated. Because I sincerely feel that not having enough means to get yourself treated when you're faced with such a serious illness should not be the case. Like, everybody deserves this much. So, to sum it up, whenever you're faced with a difficult situation in life, the choice is yours, whether you want to ask why me or you want to say wow me. Now, can we all once say wow me together on a count of 3? 1, 2, 3, wow me. And yeah, there's a bonus point. If you decide to walk on the wow me journey, you get to be a TEDx speaker. Thank you very much.